Romans in America before Columbus, Florida treasure hunters finds ancient coins on Tampa Beach recently, and this could alter American history. Well, we know that most people from the north flood Florida during the spring, every spring, in order to enjoy the sunshine, relax, and this is a time of year when an avid treasure hunter collected his gear, his metal detector, his earphones, his basket, everything he needed, Frank Aberu, in order to start with his hobby of combing the beach to see what he could find. With all these people there, he thought, well, yes, there's big chances of finding something forgotten, something lost, something dropped, and this is what he was doing. He would find rusted pennies, bottle caps, pieces of basic worthless jewelry, and at one point in time, one May, he found 18 targets. Finding them, he collected them, placed them in his basket, finding them from his trusty metal detector, and combing the sands of Tampa. He found 18 targets, placing them in his pouch, and when he got home, he cleaned them off and started inspecting them. He sat down and, of course, started discarding the things that were worthless, but he came to 7 items that were really bizarre in his sight. Not all 18 items, of course, were treasures, but he found 7 items, 3 coins, resembling some type of a marking that was very unusual. And basically, I think one of them, as you can see on the left, seems to be Helen, the mother of Constantine the Great, because I've seen coins of Constantine the Great's mother, and this is what she looks like. I have no idea, but this is, to me, is exactly what Helen, the mother, Saint Helen, the mother of King Constantine, looked like. Now, he decided to believe that they were worthless, and he hid them in the back of one of his drawers for months on end. He didn't tell anyone about them, and the thought started bothering him and saying, well, maybe he should have a look at them. Someone special, a coin dealer, a coin collector, someone who knows about ancient coins should take a look at them. So he got in touch with someone, and because he was afraid all this time he would be discredited, he got in touch with someone named Eric Davis, who owned the Gold Spot in Pinellas Park. When he called him, Eric told him, well, they're probably just copies, worthless stuff, whatever, but bring them in, I'll take a look at them. And when Eric looked at them, he said that 85 to 90% they are real. They are authentic ancient Roman coins. And that just shocked Frank. He never expected to find anything that significant combing the beach. Roman coins? What were Roman coins, ancient Roman coins, doing on the beach of Florida? Obviously, these things are at least, 1,500 years before the time of Columbus. How did they get there? Did somebody put them there on purpose? Or was there a shipwreck nearby that washed them up to the beach? Or was there an intentional landing of an ancient Roman trireme? What was the story behind these ancient Roman coins landing on the Tampa beaches? Now we know that Roman history says that the currency consisted of coins made up of several precious metals. There could be anything from gold, silver, bronze, copper, orichalcum, and denominations would change. Also, every time an emperor changed, they would mint their profile on the coin. So every time a new emperor came into being, into power, he would have a new set of currency with his profile on it. Now, we are not told here what profiles these coins have, but as I said before, the one on the left obviously is, to my view of it, is definitely the mother of King Constantine. That was about 300 some odd AD, and I don't know who the other ones are. I really don't. It could be, I have no idea if they're pre-Constantine or after Constantine. But the one on the left is definitely Constantine's mother. So these are still being examined. His only concern was that we said that the coins could be fake. Well, according to Eric Davis of the Gold Spot in Pinellas Park, they are not copies, they are not fake. They are very likely real. So what does that mean? It means that we have a change in the implications of history. We know, for example, that supposedly in recent years Christopher Columbus in 1492 discovered America, but there are of course other stories of Vikings coming from Scandinavia, through Iceland, through Newfoundland, and very easily crossing into the new land that way. So if it can be proven, he says, that, or someone can tell me, he says, how these coins got here, that's really what we need to find out. And that's what everybody wants to find out. How did they get there? Did somebody, I don't know, obtain them from an ancient antiquity museum or an ancient collection and forget them and just leave them there on the beach? That's one explanation. Another explanation is that you had Romans crossing and coming over. Now we know that Romans, of course, in the ancient Roman Empire were very, of course, abundant and all over the British Isles. So since they were in the British Isles, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump to Iceland, and Iceland, of course, would have known that Newfoundland and Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Greenland are not very far away, and of course Greenland is right next to Newfoundland and Canada, and there you are, you're in America. So obviously they would have known, if they were the conquerors and the rulers of the British Isles, and also into Scandinavia, that there were travelers from Scandinavia, Norway, the people of the north that had gone to the new land. That's not unbelievable. Now there are other reports of, not Roman reports, but we have other reports of Romans reaching Asia. Not Roman reports, but we have reports from Asia. There are theories that relate to visits of Americans and indigenous people of America by people from Egypt, China, Europe, Oceania, India, Japan, and even the Middle East, long before Columbus first discovered America in his voyage in 1492. And of course, some of these have been proven, at least in the cases of the Norse settlements dating 500 years before Columbus. That's about 1000 AD. There's also racial similarities between people in other nations and Native Americans. People found links in cultures in simple things like sweet potatoes and chickens that were thought to originate from the Far East, somehow finding their way to their Americans. And now, thanks to Frank and Eric, that we have these ancient Roman coins. So right now, Frank Abreu, he has not disclosed which beach in Tampa he found the coins in. There are other people that have invested in much more expensive beachcombing equipment than Frank Abreu. And one of them has found 15 feet down, another beachcomber called Schmidt ended up finding a sunken cache of 52 gold coins, which were from 300 years ago, and all these coins together are worth more than $1 million. And one of the star coins from that collection is known as the Tricentennial Royal. It was minted in 1715, something Eric Davis would love to get his numismatic hands on it, the article says here. This is amazing. Now, if they got here with triremes, triremes are triple-decker warships that the ancient Greeks and Romans used, and they were called trireme because they had three decks. It was a key to sea power for the ancient Greeks, Phoenicians, and the Romans. They were easy to maneuver, and they were built for speed. 3 rows of oars on each side, and 1 man for every oar. It took 170 men, 85 per side, to make up a crew of 1 trireme. And from what I know, they used to, of course, travel during the day. They had sails on these things. They also had sails, so they were going pretty fast if they had good wind behind them. And I don't know how many knots it would have gone, but you can imagine that with all that manpower, they were faster than ships that ran only under sail, of course. And before heading to battle, the crews would be lightening the load by leaving unnecessary items on shore. They said that was before, of course. But according to historian John Morrison, naval architect John Coates, and writer Frank Welsh, who set up the Trireme Trust to find out just how well a trireme would perform on the seas, their work inspired the Hellenic Navy, Greece's Navy, to build a full-scale replica in 1987. The Greek Navy commissioned the Olympias, and according to the Trireme Trust, the Olympias was tested at sea during half-dozen trials that showed the ship could indeed be rowed efficiently, proving the skeptics wrong. And it was reconstructed of an Athenian trireme about 5th or 4th century BC. We had 170 oars handled by both men and women who were about 5 foot 10 inch tall, because anyone over 6'1" would be pretty cramped inside. Each of the crew's 3 levels had different names taken from the Greek. The bottom oars are Thalamians, the middle are Zygians, and the top were Thranites. And in 2004, the ship transported the Olympic flame across Greece's Piraeus harbor to the opening of the summer games in Athens. That's, I don't know how fast he used to go, but obviously if they had that many, 170 people rowing, and sails on top of that, you can imagine how fast they were going. So, yeah, it's still a mystery. It's still being examined, and we see, I'm going to find another coin of Saint Helen, Constantine the Great's mother, so you can see the comparison. Okay, here is just one page I just quickly found, coins of Saint Helen, and this is an ancient Saint Helen, the mother of Constantine the Great. It was struck about 324 to 325 AD, and this is her profile here. This is another one here, again, the mother of Constantine the Great. 325 to 330 AD. Here we are. She has her hair under some kind of a hat. And she was the Augusta. As Augusta, 324, 330 AD. And that's another one right there. And so that's what she looked like. Let's go back and see more. There's another one right there. Oh, that's the same one. Yeah, it's the same one. What else? That's not the one. What about this one? Okay, this is a copy of that, of course, but you can see here, that's her as well. And this here, her nose is a little bit straighter than we had before, but that's her as well. Helena. Helena. Augusta. All right? That's it. So that's what she looked like. So this is astonishing, obviously. I'm very happy about finding this information because this changes the history of America. Of course, tying it into Europe. Almost, 2,000 years before Christopher Columbus discovered America. Amazing. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.